Yo, let's get this bitch started.
Public Yemeni #1.
Welcome to the episode I call Let It Snow. Fuck no. Oh shit, hold on a second. Technical difficulties. I need my weed pen. Bro, what's cracking? Are you guys at that age right now where every time you pee, no matter how much you shake it, it still gets on your pants? Is that happening to you guys? Chime in, motherfuckers, because I need to know. Actually, I don't need to know. I just need someone to empathize with me. Robbie says, let is snow. I think he meant said, let it snow. Man, I hate snow. I don't know how you guys can enjoy that shit. Really quick, if you guys are listening, tuning in right now, I'm going to be doing a Zoom comedy show on a pretty decent show called the Social Distancing Social Club Show. And it was one of the first Zoom shows I did. Stephen Hofstadter's show. Also Ben Glebe, Rachel Gallagher, and Chris Bowers. There's some killer comics that run this really cool show, the Zoom show. It was one of the first Zoom shows I did during quarantine. And I was never going to do a Zoom show. But then when they asked me to do this show, because Stephen Hofstadter has a huge following, and he had, if you ever look him up, Stephen Hofstadter, he does a lot of those heckler videos where he puts hecklers in their place, and he blew up with this one video that blew up on the internet, ended up on Joe Rogan, and they asked me to do that podcast, and it was I couldn't believe it, man. Like the first show I did, the audience tips you, right? They tip the comics, and the audience. The first show I did, they tipped me $200, bro. Collectively. Got $200 to do a 5-minute set. So, and it's a fun show. So if you guys are into it, I think they sell tickets to watch a Zoom show if you're into watching Zoom shows. I might bomb on it because I'm going to do some new shit. But it is what it is, bro. What's up, everybody? This counter that I have that says how many people are watching is always fucked up. Like right now it says only one person is watching on my end, but then I see 3 of you motherfuckers here or more. What up, Bolty? What's cracking, bro? Happy birthday. Marine Corps birthday. Man. Hold on. I need to get a hit of this. Nothing makes me happier than going on Facebook and watching friends and family and acquaintances that I know in Detroit and in Michigan or anywhere in the Midwest posting these sob story pictures. Oh my God, it's snowing in April. Can you believe it? It's like, yeah, bro, you live in a shithole. Everything around you is ugly and the weather sucks. So, and I moved out here to Cali like 9 years ago, man, to to pursue my my lofty dreams of making it in Hollywood, which is not working out. And but I've been out here 8 years, man, and I'm just so used to how amazing it is that I never look at the weather app. Yo, I never have to pick that thing up and go, what is it gonna be like today? Dude, out here, every day is just sunny. You can count on it. No humidity. You can pretty much count on it. And like the weather is just so perfect. Like I remember the first time I moved here, actually I visited here and I lived 2 doors down from where I live right now because my friend Hal Soper, one of the creators of the Planet Ant Theater in Hamtramck, alongside Keegan Michael Key, they both created this amazing theater that we all used to go to. I stayed out here at his apartment And it was, this is before I moved out here, just trying to see if I would want to live here. And, the next morning he already left for work. And I woke up. And I remember I was like, I'm going to make me some coffee. And you know what I should do? Let me open up the windows and get some fresh air in here. And then I went to go open up the windows, and all the windows were open. It was like the first time in my life where I was like, wait a second. It's perfect inside and outside. Like you stepped outside and it was the same temperature as inside. Like it was so pleasant on the outside that you didn't, it was the same pleasantry on the inside. You didn't get that in the Midwest, especially in places like Michigan, bro. In Michigan, it was either too freaking hot and humid to really enjoy it outside that you have to crank up the AC, or it's too fucking cold and dreary that you have to turn on the heat. Very seldom, man, is there like a moment in Michigan where you're just like, hey, man, we don't need to turn anything on. It's perfect. But I remember I noticed that and I was like, wait a second. What? And then I remember like Tariq Salamasi was checking up on me. He was like, hey, man, how you like in LA and this, that, and the other thing. And I was like, yo, man, I mean, I think I like LA, dude. And Tariq Salamasi goes, how's the weather? I was like, there is no weather. I never in my entire life ever thought I would ever say that. What weather? Like in the Midwest, weather is something that is there to fuck your day. Out here, it's like when we do get weather, it shut this goddamn city down, bro. Nobody here knows what to do when it sprinkles. I'm dead serious, man. I'm from the Midwest, bro. Some of you motherfuckers from the Midwest know. You know? You have a point of pride, right? When it comes to your windshield wipers. Right? We people that like brave like shitty weather where we live, we know. You know? I'm not going to turn on my windshield wipers until I really fucking need it, bro. Right? If it sprinkles a little bit, it'll be fine. Rains at about 10-20%, I could see through it. I don't want to ruin my wiper blades. You know what I mean? I don't need to use them if I don't need to use them. That's how we were, like, you know, growing up in the Midwest and shit. Then I move out here to Cali, bro. Man, I remember the first time it rained. When I moved out here in Cali, it was 2012. October of 2012. And it didn't rain for like 8 months, man. If you look it up online, it'll tell you that it was a complete drought back in the day, man. Like people were like saying, oh man, you know, everything's drying up in California. So here I am leaving Detroit. I come to a place like California and it is not raining at all. Some of the people are very concerned about it, like in California. And me being from Michigan, I'm like, this is heaven. They're like, oh, but forest fires. I'm like, worth it. I'd rather die in a forest fire than have to shovel snow one more time, bro. And then one day, it got cloudy. I was here for like 8 months, man. Complete drought. No rain, not one drop from the sky. Not even a cloud to block the sun. And then all of a sudden, one day, man, I wake up. And it's cloudy. And I look outside and it's sprinkling. And guys, when I say it was sprinkling, I mean, it was barely anything coming down from the sky. Like if you were to turn your windshield wipers would be like, are you serious right now? It's the first time your car will talk to you. Really? Right now? There's nothing to wipe off. And that sprinkle shut the fucking city down, son. I never experienced anything like that shit in my entire life. People out here in LA are spoiled with this perfect fucking weather. And I've only been here for 8 months. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm going to work. Now, I used to work at the Hollywood production studio or Hollywood production office. It's over there on Gower and Santa Monica. And that parking lot was a big parking lot, and they had these Guatemalan parking attendants that would literally play Tetris with the cars all day, because they would have to constantly maneuver cars and fit the boss's car, and they'd have to figure out what person goes to lunch with their car and who doesn't. If you don't, they put your car all the way in the back. So these guys literally all day just playing fucking real life Tetris with people's cars in this giant fucking parking lot that has tons of people coming into it to work. And every day I would drive into that fucking bitch and it would be gridlocked. These Guatemalans be running their asses, especially Carlos, who's the leader of them. And I remember, man, the day that it sprinkled, I'm talking about a mist, man. It wasn't even it was not even a mist. It was like you were driving and all of a sudden you're like, is it raining? I don't know. Is it raining? Let me look at my windshield. And you got to look really closely. And something a little small. Oh, yeah, maybe it is raining. How long is it going to last? I don't know, but it doesn't look that bad. And I pull into work, and for the first time, the parking lot was empty. Like there was maybe 8, 9 cars in the parking lot. I'm already running late. You know, I was working salary. They expect us to be there, I think it was 9 or 10 o'clock. But yeah, I was 10:30. It's not a big deal, you know. It's just one of those jobs. But yeah, so I was about a half hour after everyone was supposed to already be there, and that parking lot was empty. And I remember I rolled the window down and I go to Carlos. I'm like, hey, Carlos, is that a holiday today? He's like, no. I'm like, where are all the cars? He goes, it's raining. It's raining. Nobody come to work. And from fucking Detroit, I couldn't understand that, bro. I could not understand it. I was like, what? Just because a mist of water is falling down from the fucking sky, people are not coming into work? I was fucking appalled, man. I couldn't wrap my mind around it. I literally couldn't wrap my mind around it. Meanwhile, you go back years when I was a child, man. I don't know why I never took the school bus. Maybe my mom was supposed to sign some paperwork. She never knew that. I just walked to school, and I was not close to the school. Bro, I'd walk maybe. Damn, you know what? I'm going to find out how many miles it is to walk from my old address where I grew up. Okay. Hold on. I gotta figure this out, because it was not easy, and I kind of want to help you guys kind of understand how far I was actually walking in ridiculous amount of snow, right? Dude, I'd walk all the way to Fortson, bro. So, from my old address where I grew up, okay, and walked all the way to Fortson High School would take me 30 minutes, okay, and it was 1.5 miles. Now, you think 1.5 miles ain't that bad, right? But, man, in 20 fucking inches of snow, back then, man, we didn't have snow days. When we did have snow days, it was for a reason. Like, you looked out your window and you're like, oh, man, the snow's covering the window too. That's when we would have, like, snow days, right? That's the type of fucking environment that I grew up in. But instead, man, there'd be days where I would have to shovel my way to school. That's how bad it was fucking snowing. And I'm moving in LA, and people are like, even better, I came into the studio. There's barely anybody there. I still worked, had shit to do. I was like, I had this point of pride. Like right now, being here for this long, I would have been like, yeah, I'm going to stay home. Everyone's going to stay home. I'm going to stay home. But I had at least, I forgot what I was going to say, but the thing that really pissed me off is I remember I like got up. I would at least go to work. It was such a point of pride. I'm like, I'm from Detroit, bitch. But I remember when I went back in there, I did some work, and then I took a little break. I got up. I walked over to another area of the production place where all the editors were, and some of the editors were working, so I walked in there to talk to some of them, to go over our scenes or whatever. And then I remember I came out of the editor's bay, and at that time when you came out of the editor's bay, you were at like the second floor lobby where they had couches and a TV. And I looked at the TV and it was like ding dong dong ding, news alert. Like they had the graphics and everything. Ding dong boom boom bam boom boom. News alert. Very important information ahead. And they fucking cut to a guy at the corner, I don't know, Crenshaw and Wilshire or some shit. News alert because it's raining. Like legit. News alert because it's fucking sprinkling, bro. Warning people to take it easy out there on the roads. Are you fucking serious, bro? I grew up in Detroit where we used to do this thing called, was it sledging? I forgot the term that we used to call it. If anybody is listening from Dearborn, from Detroit, what's the term? Sledging. We did that. I think it's called sledging. It's like where we would, as a kid, we would, like, if it snowed a lot, right? And especially if it snowed late, where the trucks that come to plow the streets are running behind. Usually the side streets are the ones that get neglected. So we would go outside and we would bundle up, and then we would hide behind other cars that are parked on the street. And we'd wait for a car to come past us. And as that car's back bumper is where we are, we grab onto that back bumper. And because there's so much snow, you can basically, slide as far as that car is going to take you. Sometimes you would lay down. Sledding? No, not sledding. I know what sledding is. No. We called it something else. It's almost like sludging or sledging. Some shit. But man, that's the type of place I come from. And now I'm at a fucking place where I'm like, people here are fucking pussies. The same thing happened to my cat, bro. I got my cat from Dearborn, the streets of Dearborn. I rescued her from the streets of Dearborn. Rescued her. That's hilarious that we use that term, rescued her. No, I didn't rescue her. She was a cat that was outside, and I was like, you want to come inside? And she came inside. Now I rescued her. Next time I'm gonna get a rescue cat, but I'm gonna do a real rescue. Do you know what I mean? I'm gonna find a cat in distress. Like a bunch of dogs are like fucking with it and shit. And then I'm gonna come in with a gun and do a barrel roll and shoot the dogs. And then grab the cat, right? And then a rope will come down from a helicopter, and I'll fucking take the cat away in a helicopter. And I'll record it. And that way when somebody goes, oh, you rescued your cat? And I can show them video. I'll be like, yeah, bitch, look, Marine Corps style. Rescued my cat. Really rescued my cat. Not like the cat that I have now. It's hilarious. I just said that. I said that, I rescued my cat. I thought I rescued my cat. No, I found a cat that was outside that would rather be inside. And I was like, you look cute enough to look at. Come inside. And the cat was like, okay, I'm going to come inside. And then I gave it food. And then now it's there. So I rescued this cat. And this cat was like used to, Detroit, And when I rescued her, she was in Detroit for another year before I moved to LA. Bro, that day that I woke up to go to work, I forgot to tell you, my cat, I thought it was dead. Usually the cat, like, I wake up and it's kind of like, playing or wanting to fucking like get some food or whatever. No, she was sprawled out on the floor and not fucking moving. It was the first time where I like walked up to my cat to be like, look at it to see, is she breathing? Let's look at her rib cage. And then now she wasn't dead. She was just fucking, she turned into a real pussy. Pussy cat that turned into a real fucking pussy. So like it affects all of us. We get so used to all the sun that it makes us soft, bro. For real. Yusuf says, bro, take a hit for me. I think I'm too high. I probably shouldn't take another hit, but guess what? I will. Jason Bacon says, you have an ATF fantasy with the rescue idea. ATF, can you please explain, bro? I'm too stupid to understand. Let me take a hit of this, and then I'll reset. I want to talk about something else, especially the last podcast that I had with Jordy Stroud. But because Yusuf demands it, I guess I'm going to get high. I've been sleeping better, guys. A couple of weeks ago, for the last 2 weeks, I haven't really been sleeping good, and I decided to change my diet. I'm doing Carnivore Diet right now. I'm gonna break the Carnivore Diet tomorrow because I'm going to a Thanksgiving dinner at some friends out here in LA. But I'm doing this so I can sleep better, you know? Some of you guys know I got a really messed up neck situation, right? I got a compressed disc in my vertebrae in my neck, and it's pushing a nerve that's actually next to a bone spur, which is like basically the spine is like collecting more calcium there and creating like this little sharp thing to fuck with me. And anytime I sleep, it fucking hurts and all kinds of shit. And lately I've been getting better sleep, and I think it's because I've been cutting my caffeine down a little bit, and I'm not eating just before I go to bed. I don't know. I'm still figuring it out. The neck thing, though, I got this thing called an iron neck, and I'm not sponsored by these guys or anything, but holy shit, it seems like this thing is actually working. You know, it's like something that I can put on my on your head. You should look it up, and you can just do all these neck exercises. That was not cheap, man. I got the top level one. But, man, this whole neck thing, man, was bothering me so much. But ever since I got that, man, as soon as I started working it out, I don't know what it activated in my neck. But now I'm not waking up with those sharp pains in my, that are coming from it. So that's helping. Weighted blanket, that's helping. I highly suggest anybody get a weighted blanket. And then I just added another protocol to my other supplement protocol that I think is helping. So I told you guys before I was doing magnesium threonate, which is a type of magnesium that actually can pass the blood-brain barrier so that the magnesium can actually enter your brain and calm your brain down, whereas other magnesiums only affect the nervous system. It'll calm your nervous system down for you to sleep, but it doesn't calm the executive decision-making part of your brain that you want the magnesium to turn off so that you can just sleep. So magnesium threonate, taking a lot of that. Take that. I'm taking L-theanine. L-theanine is supposed to be another thing that calms you down, but not only that, it regulates. I guess if you take L-theanine with something, it makes the effect of that thing last longer, right? So now you're taking that in, and it's helping to have that magnesium stay longer. Apigenin, which is hard to find. I kind of gave up looking for it because the last time I found it, it was kind of hard to find. Apigenin is a extract of chamomile. So that's why people who usually sleep, they drink chamomile tea. But if you get this extract, you'll just get the powder itself. I was using that. I stopped using that. Instead, now I'm trying to drink more chamomile tea. Trying to do blue blocking glasses when I start getting closer to going to bed. Changing the lights in my apartment to not be blue, to be actually more of a warm color. So I'll tell, the computer, I don't want to say her name because then she's going to say something, to just change all the lights in my apartment to yellow, and then when I'm really wanting to go to bed, start transitioning that to like a dark red, try to turn off screens, which is something that's like really hard for me to do at night. I still like to look at stuff, so I'm going to try to get more disciplined on that. Do a little bit of stretching. I'll do some of that iron neck to like really stretch my neck out. And then I started adding valerian root drops and skull cap. Now, I've used valerian root and skull cap in the past, and now I'm just adding it again. So now I'm adding the valerian root drops. I'm doing about 2 or 3 drops, full droppers of that. And then I'll take the skull cap and I'll do only 1 drop of that. So 3 full droppers of the valerian root. I do 1 fullish drop of the skull cap. The magnesium threonate, I think I take about 800 milligrams or so. The L-theanine, about 400 milligrams. And then I take the apigenin, which at the time I believe was 50 milligrams, but now I'm just trying to drink chamomile tea until I find a better way to find that apigenin. And this stuff has been helping. It has, but I think a lot of it mostly is not drinking too much caffeine. So now I'm trying to scale back on my caffeine. Today I fucked up because these Bang energy drinks, for some reason, today taste way better than they did yesterday. I don't know why. Maybe I'm on my period. All right. I wanted to talk about Jordy Stroud. I don't know if any of you guys saw my podcast with Jordy Stroud. You should definitely go see it if you haven't. The audio is going to come out maybe in about 2 or 3 weeks or something like that. But on here, on my YouTube, Mike from Detroit, all one word, definitely look for the podcast with Jordy Stroud. I believe it's number 22. And definitely watch that because it's a clash of cultures. It's a clash of generations. He's this young kid who's 20 years old, grew up with porn. And, growing up with porn that young, I've heard of guys like this where they have a hard time getting an erection. Not only that, they've used porn so much that they never really engaged in trying to hit on women at a young age because of the convenience of the porn and the online dating. And it's crazy, man. I'm talking to this kid who is using porn as a crutch, and that shit just drove me fucking insane. And I don't know if you guys have been listening in the previous podcast, but he inspired me to hit on more women. Like, I ended up, after talking to him, I was like so baffled at like how many women are like not having an opportunity to get hit on by this kid who's a good looking dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, he told me he doesn't feel good talking to women at a party, let's say, and then he has these thoughts of like, oh my God, man, I really want to fuck this girl. God damn, she's so hot. And he's like telling me, he goes, oh, that's toxic. Those thoughts are toxic. I shouldn't be having those thoughts. And at one time he told me that he left the party, drove home, jerked off to porn, busted a nut so that he could relax, come back to the party, and actually have a real conversation with her. And I'm like, holy fuck, dude. This is my worst nightmare. I've heard of these guys, right? I've heard of them. But I'm witnessing it right now. And I was trying to get through to him at that open mic the first time I met him before I put him on the podcast. And I was pleading with him. I'm like, dude, those are not bad thoughts, man. Those are natural thoughts. It's what you do with those thoughts, bro. I'm like, I think he's mature to know that, hey, I should be more in the moment with this woman as a person, not as a thing to get sex from. I think that's a very, very mature way to look at things. And I think that type of mindset, that every man has to have that mindset coupled with the mindset of, I'm going to fuck the shit out of this girl with consent, right? I don't like the fact that he had to jerk off to pay attention to that. I'm like, you're using porn as a crutch. I think men have to learn to control those urges and redirect them in more creative ways, and or direct it towards a woman in trying to engage with her. Yet at the same time, if you find a girl beautiful and attractive, you're doing her a favor to let her know in a non-creepy, non-awkward way that you find her attractive and that you're kind of sexually into her a little bit. And the only way you're going to find out how to do that properly is to fail young, as much and as soon as possible. Now, I hope other guys that listen to this, man, start realizing that. If you're starting to use, like, all these things as a crutch, man, this is where we fucking have a problem. Because to me, I was like, man, you had the opportunity to actually get this girl's number. And maybe later on, you probably would have sex with her. Maybe she wanted you to hit on her. Maybe that's why she was talking to you for so fucking long. Maybe you did her a disservice by not being able to read the terrain, by not having the skill set from failing in the past to be able to hit on her in a very cordial, yet sexy, yet respectful kind of way. Or a vulnerable way, whatever it is, whatever your approach is. And, Balti asks if, did you and Jordy go out this past weekend? No. But I did go out with that girl again. So if you guys didn't listen to last time, I got so inspired by Jordy, like, not hitting on women, that it made me hit on so many women. More women than I normally would do in a week. Because usually I'm busy doing other things. And I see a hot girl pass by. And sometimes I'm like, I got other things to do. Nah, dude. That week, man, every girl I saw that I thought was cute, I hit on them. So I think I hit on 8 girls. 6 of them shot me down. 1 of them gave me their number. 1 of them came home with me. And the one that came home with me 2 weeks ago, we ended up hanging out again this last weekend. And this time her friend was in town. And I'm not going to say too much, but it was fun. And, very difficult though. It was difficult. She's a difficult person, like really hot and difficult, but it was one of those things where I was like, nah, I'm going to make this happen just to fucking make it happen, and I'm glad I took the chance, man, because, I had another fun weekend. But yeah, so anyways, for the next podcast, guys, I got to get going soon. I hate to cut it this short, but I'm doing that show at 3:00, and I got to like set up for that. But I'll round it out with this here. I talked to Sylvia Sage. She is a porn star and a stand-up comedian. Super fucking cool. Super enlightening. When you listen to her, you'll think of porn in a totally different way. She's so upfront and honest with everything. I hit her up on text. She's at home, back home with family, enjoying the holidays. And she told me to hit her up when she's back, when she's like actually back in business mode. So cross your fingers. If things pan out, this next podcast it'll be with me, Jordy Stroud, the kid who I think needs to let go of porn, and with Sylvia Sage, the hilarious porn star and very hot. You should follow her. Look her up. Sylvia Sage. She is a smoke show, and she's fucking hilarious. And you'll see. And I think it'll be interesting to get her, this veteran porn star, This girl's she makes so much money, dude. She makes so much money. Makes me wish I was a hot girl, dude. Just throw my pussy around on camera. But she might change your mind on what you think about porn, man. That's why I'm really excited to have her on, and Jordy. So here's Jordy, this kid who's all about the porn. And I just want to see what happens if I pair him up with Sylvia Sage. So it might be probably one of the more interesting podcasts I've ever done. So tune in, guys. And again, if you guys are online, man, follow me at Mike from Detroit on everything. One word. Instagram, Mike from Detroit. Twitter, Mike from Detroit. If you want to watch these podcasts live, you got to go to my my page on YouTube. One word, Mike from Detroit. And subscribe. And I have 2 pages. One's Mike from Detroit, and another one's another Mike from Detroit. I'm going to change the name on that one just slightly. So maybe Mike from Detroit 2, I'll change that. But the other one, I have other like videos that I post, a lot of my sketch videos, a bunch of like, a bunch of little comedy filmmaking stuff that I've done in the past, and then I still probably will be posting. So follow me, Mike from Detroit, all one word on YouTube, not Mike space from space Detroit space whatever. Venmo me if you're listening to this or whatever, man. If you like what I'm doling out, support your boy. I'm gonna have a Patreon up pretty soon, and I'm looking to redesign the look of this live podcast. Hopefully I can find some time this week. But yeah, guys, for those of you in Michigan, I'm crying for you. Actually, no, I don't give a fuck. For those of you in LA, we live in a beautiful shithole. Like I wrote in the description of this podcast, It's the land of fake titties, real assholes, and tent cities. Tent cities where the people fucking have electricity, iPhones, rent-free beachfront property. I saw one guy had a girlfriend. I don't have a girlfriend. Now I'm starting to wonder, man, like there are people who are homeless, like legit homeless. Then there's people who are homeless because they're mentally ill. And now I'm starting to see a whole new breed of homeless people who are just fiscally responsible. I can't get myself to move into a tent because of a lot of things, but one of them is I kind of want a woman every once in a while, like a girlfriend. The LA Fitness that I go to on El Centro here in LA, there's a tent, and that guy's got a hot girlfriend. I feel like the idiot now. You know? Anyways, got sidetracked. Guys, I got to get going. Thank you for tuning in. Love you guys. Follow me, Mike from Detroit, on everything. And I will see you next Wednesday, 2 p.m. as usual, unless things change. Like maybe we might have to change it because of her schedule. But stay tuned to my Instagram, my Twitter feed. I'm also on Facebook, Mike from Detroit. And I'll see you guys next week. Thank you. And thank you, Yusuf, for getting me higher than I should have been. All right, guys. Till next week.
Public Yemeni #1.